Good morning again. So, here we are. Another day. Yay us. We've made it. We are this side of the grass. So that makes it another good day. And, I was just sitting here thinking, I read a lot of tarot books. They all talk about finding your sacred space. Very important. I totally get that. But really, what is that sacred space? And yes, it is awesome to find a nice, quiet, calm place. A nice place for focus. But in all reality, it's hard to control anything outside of what I call my hula hoop. A hula hoop in the United States. Good morning, Maureen. A hula hoop is just this round hoop that barely goes around your waist. Okay? And that's about as much control as I have in this world. Good morning, Eleanor. So, my sacred space is actually within the span of a hula hoop. And because you can't control much more outside of that. Especially if you have kids and work and everything else. So I was just sitting here thinking about that because I have my tarot room. You know how I have a tarot room where I have all my Ouija boards and all antiques and everything else, the picture behind me. So gosh, I guess for over a week now, I had actually moved everything downstairs to my basement. That's a green screen. And so I don't have that view in front of me anymore. But, and I've been doing this for 1.5 years now. So instead, I'm down in a music room where I'm looking at, it's a mess, because I have my guitars and stuff. But it doesn't make a difference. I have my sacred spaces within my hula hoop. And when I sit down and I relax my shoulders and I relax my neck and I remember to take a breath, when I hear the cards and they sound like the waves, it really doesn't matter what's outside of my hula hoop. And then one last thing, I'll tell you where the hula hoop analogy first came from. My ex-wife, love her to death. Wonderful person. She had a bit of an anger issue. And so when we would drive, I would tell her that she was not allowed to talk to anybody who was outside of her hula hoop. That means she can't talk to people in the cars beside her. It's like I'm in her hula hoop because I'm sitting next to her. So she can talk to me, but she was not allowed to have discussions with people outside of her hula hoop when she's driving with me. So that is my lesson on hula hoops. But it is true. And I will put that in the book whenever I decide to finish it. That the sacred space is actually whatever's inside the hula hoop. Outside of that, it's just window dressing. Good morning, Nada. I see you're coming in from Facebook. So generally, most of the stuff I do is on YouTube. So if you go to MyTarot, if you just type MyTarot.org in YouTube, you'll get there. And I thought you might be asking that. I don't do readings during the morning meditations. But if you go to the MyTarot.org, you'll find the Facebook page, you'll find the YouTube page, and join the community, and I'll give all the free readings you want. Notice how nobody ever takes me up on that? It's like, what? A physical effort? Although I have done it for some people. But most people don't take me up on it. So, let's see what we have for today. And I tell you what, Nada, let's just see how we are today. and see how that reflects on our plans for the future. Because today we're going to take our daily inventory. We're just going to check in, see what the universe has for us, see if there's any angers or resentments, see if there's anything to look at. This is our chance for a daily inventory. We can't control a whole lot outside of our hula hoop, but within our hula hoop, we at least have some ability to understand, if not control. So, what do we have here? We have our stack. I'm going to make 3 threads, going out to the universe. Each one is a different thought and a different conversation. Whichever one we choose, the one that we will follow for the day. And just because of the way that I pulled this stack and I saw that some extra ones dropped off from the bottom here, I'm going to go with the center. I want to go see what's at the heart. Just to see why some extra cards were moved around. Because, once again, there are no coincidences. Take that breath. Here comes our 3-in-1. So what does the universe have for us today with our daily inventory? So we have the 8 of Swords. So we talked about 8s yesterday, and 8s are about progress and moving forward. Swords are thoughts and mental. So with the 8s, we're getting high up there. In the Marseille, we talk about heavy suits and light suits. This is a heavy suit. And so the higher, the more you get with the swords or the wands, the heavier it becomes. And on this, it's mentally heavier on you. But here we're talking, and notice also, Pamela Coleman-Smith did a great job, because a lot of times when we're dealing mentally, it's like we create our own prison within our hula hoop. And so, as you can see, we have a prison of swords. She's lightly bound. She's blindfolded by choice, because she could literally get out of these anytime she wants. You know? But she's choosing not to, because she's so wrapped up in what's going on, she doesn't realize she can. Which means everything is just coming to a halt. So here we have the 8 of Wands again, but it's reversed, which means when it's reversed, that means that the energy flow is different. So where she would be bound here, it's a realization that whatever's going on mentally, whatever block we have, it's time to take those binds off. Because things are not progressing. The 8 of Wands, fire and energy. Well, there is no fire and energy when we have ourselves mentally bound. But with realization comes understanding. So this is one of those things where, what is tying us up? What is it that we need to recognize? You know, where we are our own worst enemy. We get wrapped around the axle is something that we used to say when I was a kid. You get yourself wrapped around the axle. That spiral. Things keep getting worse because, you know, we feel worse because things are getting worse. Things are getting worse because we feel worse. And it just goes in a spiral. What's it going to take? And so, looking at it in this way, we have this 8 of Wands. reversed. So normally things are moving fast with this, but what if we slow that spiral down? What if we take the Eight of Wands and we reverse it? And we say, all right, we need to slow down. We need to give ourselves time. We need to find that sacred space within our hula hoop. We need to do whatever, but we need to recognize why we have ourselves wrapped around our axle. Does that mean maybe finding our own little sacred space and finding that spot and stopping and doing our own mental inventory? Because once we recognize it, we have the Eight of Swords reversed. When we recognize it, the flight of these arrows, the flight of these wands can slow down. And with realization, we can realize that we are our own Earth Mother, that we are our own. I mean, she's got her own little sacred space right here. This is the Empress. This is the Mother. She might even be pregnant in this card. But this is who takes care of the kingdom. The Empress does. This is us where we've decided that this space, this hula hoop that we're in, this kingdom, we're going to make this one space that we're in okay. I'm going to turn the advice card over, which is the Page of Cups reversed. So what is that telling us? So pages are young in mind, young in thought. Cups are emotions, their spirituality, their feelings. And look at him staring at a fish coming out of that cup. So what I always say about this card, one of my favorite things that it reminds me of, is that I have the phrase, remember to look for the magic in the ordinary. Plain and simple. When we're younger, we see the magic in the ordinary. He's looking at a cup. There could be something coming out, but his imagination says, you know what, look at this amazing cup. I got a fish coming out of it. That just may be his imagination, but he's seeing the magic in the ordinary. Nobody else sees that fish. And that would be a reason to smile, even though if you look behind him, we have some turmoil in the water there. That's not what he's looking at. He's looking at the magic in the ordinary. It's that spiritual feeling. And when we have our own little hula hoop area that we can control, when we can become the empress of that little area, and we free ourselves as opposed to being the Eight of Wands. So for today, it's one of those things where we remember to take that breath. If we're doing tarot, we listen to the cards like they're the sound of the waves. But we're in our hula hoop. We make that space our own. And when we're looking around, try and remember to find the magic in the ordinary. I'm looking in this room here, and I remember when I bought that chair, that we have a chair over there. It's like or actually that one was given to us, and it's like, wow, that's really cool. And remember that feeling, you know? And I'm looking around at all the good things, and it's like, I've made my hula hoop that much brighter. So we need to move forward. What do we got here, Eleanor? Slow down and give yourself love by a spa day. Lighten up your thoughts. Silence the negative talk. Perfect. So, with that, just examine what it is that we've got ourselves wrapped around the axle about. And then look around and just look for the magic in the ordinary. And we need to become the Empress of that kingdom within our hula hoop. So with that, everybody have an amazing day. Have an amazing rest of the week. And if it's afternoon or evening, wherever you are, have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will be back again tomorrow.